Welcome to Transforming with Drew, where we talk about everything on the TQIA spectrum. I want to thank everybody for tuning back in, and I'm very pleased to introduce our wonderful guest, Chloe, to the Transforming with Drew podcast, where we talk about all things TQIA. Hello, Chloe. How are you doing this evening?
Great, thank you.
Awesome.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit to the audience? Maybe they can get a little bit know more about you, where you're from.
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Chloe. I'm a 21-year-old trans woman from Kalamazoo, Michigan. I recently graduated from the Honors College at Michigan State University with 3 bachelor's degrees in political theory, international relations, and economics. And now I'm working on my MBA.
Wow, check you out. Chloe, you're going above and beyond.
I thank you.
You like doing this. What do you want to do with all these degrees? What is your ultimate goal?
So actually next, after I finish my MBA, I want to go to law school. So I want to become an attorney.
Wow, so you're just like making sure you know all the right avenues to do this, from what it sounds like.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, I like it. I like that you're showing that you can accomplish anything. That is amazing. I just graduated with 1 bachelor's, a little older, but that's actually a feat for my family. I'm the first only grandchild with a college degree, so I'm extremely happy about that. And on my mom's side, I'm the only person that graduated high school and college. So yay, we got this, right?
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
I was also, oh, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was gonna say congratulations to you. Go ahead.
Thank you. I was also the first in my family to graduate from college. So I just wanted to mention
Really?
that.
What made you choose those 3 specific bachelors?
So I knew originally going into Michigan State, I wanted to do the political theory program. And then I realized that double majoring is the thing. And so I really liked international relations, which was like a sister major in my college. So I added that as well. Originally, because I came in with some AP credits and everything, I was going to graduate a year early. But I found out that apparently law schools frown upon that. So I decided to say for a 4th year, which gave me an extra 30 credit hours. Then I found out I could also add the economics major and complete all 3 degrees in only 4 years. So
That is extremely ingenious, and bravo, definitely. And you said you're working on your MBA. Where are you going?
so right now I'm working through Louisiana State University, but it's virtual still due to COVID. So I'm staying right here in Kalamazoo.
Okay. Wow. That I'm seriously very, very, very proud of you. I just want to let you know. So people, if you're listening out there, you can literally achieve anything. Chloe can prove it. All right, so when did you finally start realizing it was time to be most authentically Chloe?
I would definitely say it was actually during COVID, during the beginning, because it's something I'd known for pretty much my whole life, but that I couldn't come to accept. I came from a very conservative religious family where they considered being trans to be almost just as bad as pedophilia. So, coming from that background, it took me a lot of learning and opening up to realize that, it's totally fine to be trans and just to be yourself. So, I got to kind of explore more of myself during COVID, especially at the beginning of the lockdown. And at that point, I realized, this is who I truly am, and I don't want to continue pretending to be this person I'm not.
That's very, very good. And I'm honestly the same way. COVID kind of helps you really, you have to sit with yourself, and it
Exactly.
like forces you to put a mirror up there. And I'm older, so I'm actually 34, so it's like it took me a long time to come to terms with it. So I'm very, happy that you were able to come to terms with it now, and so you can live as much as authentic possible as you can. I do want to put in there what someone told me earlier today is tell me in the Bible where it says anything about trans people.
Nowhere, not a single verse.
Yep. Nope, not a single verse. It's like, to me, it's just mind blowing because people are like, oh, you're trans, you're going to hell. And I was like, tell me where it says that. Tell me where it says that. Tell me. It's like, it doesn't say it. So it's like really neat to talk about stuff like that. So and I'm really grateful that, we can talk openly about things like this because people don't understand what it's like to grow up in such a religious background, especially because you do tend to lose family members when in that situation. So as a young trans woman, what challenges have you had to overcome recently?
Well, just that exactly. I've had a lot of troubles with my family. Um, of course, I want to give credit. So, my mom's side of the family has been super supporting and loving, and I love being with them, and they're amazing.
Oh yeah.
Um, my dad's side of the family, however, has not been so accepting, and they have said some pretty heinous things. And at this point, I've been pretty much estranged from that side of the family. Um, no more Christmases, no Thanksgivings. I'm not allowed to see my cousins. I haven't seen my father since the day I came out publicly. Um, so yeah, I feel like that's definitely a big one. And it's not something every trans person faces, but that is something that I've struggled through personally. Um, so that's a big one. Also, there's like a lot of internalized issues, with gender dysphoria, all that kind of stuff. Really gives you depression sometimes, but you just got to work through that and get over it. Um,
I promise it's okay to feel depressed over gender dysphoria.
oh,
Don't,
yeah,
don't tell yourself to get over it. Don't let it just it's okay because it and when I realize that we is with a lot of the way our families I've been reading this book called I Hear You, and one of the things he says is that we tend to invalidate ourselves a lot, especially with the way I feel and like the way I feel, the way you feel internally, and that can cause a lot of internalized hardship for us. And we're like, oh, well, we
yeah,
just get over it, or we'll work it out, or people have it worse than us. Well, our trauma is trauma. That's it. I tell everybody, trauma to me, I don't care if it's specifically, you want to say, well, this trauma is, no, all trauma is the same because it affects us the same.
exactly.
And you are completely allowed to feel, and it's 100% okay. And you will never be judged for feeling. In fact, you should even probably tell yourself it's okay and to feel as much as possible. I want you to know that you are very much loved over here. I mean, if you ever need a big brother, you got one right here. So I'm perfectly
Thank you.
about that. 'Cause I do know what it's like to I mean, I was looking at pictures my whole life and I'm just hunched over, hiding my chest. And now that I've had top surgery, I do feel a lot more free. So I do know what it's like to go through that dysphoria for quite a long time and just internalize it and just be like, oh, fine, I just gotta get over it. I gotta get over it. And I didn't realize how much damage I was doing to myself. So trying to be a little kinder to yourself, sweetheart.
Thank
Promise.
you.
Um,
I'm really happy you're able to get the top surgery.
yeah, I did it working hard. I worked a lot of hours. I was working a couple jobs, worked a lot of hours to pay for part of it in cash, and the other part I guess got a personal loan to help build my credit. And that's really what I did because at the time I didn't have insurance. I have insurance now, but at the time I didn't. And I just needed to get it done because my wife started her MBA program as well as her master's in digital technology program, which means no life for either of you. You guys are school, school,
Exactly.
school. So I'm very grateful that you were able to take time to do this because I know what she's going through. So I appreciate that. And would you like to explain what it means being a trans woman in today's world for you?
Yeah, so that kind of ties into some of the issues too. I think I come from a sort of unique perspective. I know you can't tell over this video, and if you're listening, you probably can't tell either, but I'm 6'4". So definitely in today's world, walking around, whether you like it or not, whether you're supportive of trans people or not, everybody's going to stare at the 6'4" woman.
They're
So
just jealous of your legs.
exactly. But especially in the Midwest, Kalamazoo is kind of a small town here in the Midwest. So definitely get a lot of stares when I go out in the world. And that's something I've kind of come to terms with recently. But I think the world is a lot better and a lot friendlier now than it was, even 10, 20 years ago, especially more than 50 years ago. So I think we've made a lot of progress, and today's world is a lot better and a lot more accepting than it used to be.
Mhm.
But of course, there's still a lot of issues out there. You know, I've been called the F slur, I've been called a lot of different things. Um,
I'm so
you
sorry.
know, it is what it is. Um, so there's still a lot of issues. Just trying to be yourself, you know, even if you don't want to bother anyone. People like to go out of their way to bother you sometimes, especially online. Um,
I have noticed that.
yeah,
Sometimes people feel safer behind the screen or the keys and stuff. They don't realize the damage that they're actually doing. And I think that's the reason why why I've been wanting to do this, is to show that we are human. We have feelings. We go through the same emotions, hopes, and dreams that everybody else goes through. And if somebody
exactly.
wants to be blonde, you're not going to ridicule them for being blonde. It's just still the same change. You're changing the outside. So, I mean, to me, it's
Yeah.
like I'll talk about that all day. Are you planning on moving to maybe to near LSU or more?
Definitely not to LSU. I don't think I would do well in Louisiana. Luckily, the whole program is online for COVID and everything. So I'll be staying here in Michigan. But for law school, I definitely will have to move because there are no law schools in Kalamazoo. Recently, I went on a trip to Chicago and I really love the city there. And it is, you know, still kind of close to home. It's only like 3 hours away.
Mhm.
So I think I'm going to go to Chicago for law school.
Chicago's a really nice area. I like Chicago. My wife and I went there, got to go to the pier. Somehow we missed the beam. Don't even ask us how we missed the giant beam. You're right there. We did though. But it's a beautiful place. There's if anybody's listening, there's an amazing woman named Valet. She's on Airbnb. Go to her. She's awesome. She will make you the best tea you've ever had. Absolutely love that woman. So definitely, I could see you having a blast in Chicago for sure. I love that. What made you wanting to speak openly about being a trans woman on a platform such as TikTok and talking about like how your father is no longer accepting? Like, what made you want to do that, being an advocate?
Um, well, I don't know that I'm an advocate, but I started making TikToks a little while ago in December,
Mhm.
just kind of casually, you know, just kind of as another social media thing, just for fun. Um, and there was this one day where I made a TikTok. To be honest, I was a little drunk when I made the TikTok. Um, but it was the first one I had that went viral. It has almost 1 million views. Because thank you. It was so there was this trend where you had to introduce yourself and then introduce yourself according to your conservative family.
What?
So I introduced myself, said, "Hi, my name's Chloe. You know, this is what I'm majoring in. These are my pronouns, etc." And then for the family part, you know, I said, "Hi, my name's dead name, and I'm I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but effed up in the head."
Mm.
Um, so that one started to get popular, and that's kind of what gave me more of a platform on TikTok. You know, a lot of people started watching my videos more. I had a couple thousand followers. Um, so it was at that point that I decided I wanted to share more of my life experience and hopefully help others out there and also spread some education. Um, I've had quite a few other ones get somewhat popular. I think my favorite one, which I'm sure you've seen, is the one about how more Republican congressmen have been arrested for sex crimes in public bathrooms than trans
Yes.
people.
Yes, I that was one of my favorite ones. And it was funny because after I saw that one, I saw another one of this woman going, "You blame the LGBT, good it's you." And I was like, "Oh my God." I was like back to back. I was like, "That's awesome." I was like, "These are perfect." But I mean, it's the truth. Like we people sit there and try to blame our community, and then time and time again, some minister or some Republican is getting arrested for sex trafficking or pedophilia or something, and we're like, there's none of us are a part of the LGBTQ.
Exactly.
So it's like, to me, it's just, I did like that. That one was pretty good. I tend to, I'm more nervous when it comes to TikTok. This is more my thing. I like doing this. I think this is more. my platform, but I'm trying to do as much TikTok as I possibly can. And I tend to call out bullies because I don't like anybody bullying or generalizing. So just like it's a gray area or a rainbow or full of colors. There's no black and white here. So I definitely appreciate like that